The air war against Islamic State forces has now moved into Syria. Bombs and missiles rained down on targets there overnight. Another group was also hit to avert a possible attack on the United States itself. In all, the more than 200 airstrikes included bombing from U.S. carrier-based aircraft, as well as sorties from regional Arab nations, plus nearly 50 Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from U.S. Navy vessels, all aimed at more than a dozen locations across northern Syria. They included Islamic State training camps and other facilities in Raqqa, and also in Asaka, Deir az-Zur, and hard by the Iraq border at Abu Kamel. As he left the White House this morning, President Obama said the aerial assault made a vital point.
We were joined in this action by our friends and partners, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Bahrain, and Qatar. The strength of this coalition makes it clear to the world that this is not America's fight alone.
Separately, on its own, the U.S. hit a group called Khorasan, an organization of veteran al-Qaida operatives. 8 airstrikes hit near Aleppo, where the Khorasan militants are linked with the al-Nusra Front, al-Qaeda's principal Syria franchise. Pentagon leaders said the strikes were successful. The top operations officer for the Joint Chiefs, Lieutenant General William Mayville, said the Aleppo attacks aimed to disrupt an active plot.
But we've been watching this group closely for some time. We believe the Khorasan group was nearing the execution phase of an attack either in Europe or the homeland.
Mayville also made clear the air campaign against Islamic State forces in Iraq and Syria is open-ended.
Could this take years?
I would think of it in terms of years, yes.
There were some reports of civilians killed on the ground and video of Syrians apparently trying to dig out people trapped in rubble. Mayville said they were unaware of any civilian deaths. He also confirmed the U.S. carried out the vast majority of the bombing, but Jordan, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates all flew combat missions too, while Qatar provided support. Jordan's information minister spoke in Amman.
We will continue to identify and to attack the positions of these terrorist organizations in order to secure our country and our national interest.
The State Department denied reports that it coordinated with Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. It did say the U.S. alerted Damascus ahead of the strikes. After the strikes, the Syrian government issued its own statement on state television.
Syria will support any international effort that may help in fighting terrorism, but this should not affect the lives of civilians and national sovereignty of Syria, as well as the international laws.
On the streets of Damascus today, reactions to the air campaign varied.
When we see American warplanes flying in the air over Syria, it is impossible to be optimistic about this thing.
With all my respect to America, it should stand by the Syrian government's side in a serious way.
There was also word that a key NATO ally might join the fight. Turkish President Erdogan had refused to pledge military action earlier this month at a NATO summit, while 49 Turks were being held hostage by Islamic State militants. The captives were released Saturday. And today, Erdogan said, "We will give the necessary support to the operation. The support could be military or logistics."
This is not going to be something that is quick, and it is not something that is going to be easy. It will take time.
Later, after arriving in New York, President Obama met with leaders of the anti-Islamic State coalition. He will make the case for the campaign tomorrow before the UN General Assembly.